Alright, so welcome back guys, welcome if it's your first time here. I'm Vision Hero Blind Entertainment, putting you guys in our video. Today we're giving you guys my review for Power Rangers Dino Fury Episode 4, New Recruits. Now if Power Rangers something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon to miss more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So like I said, we got up to Episode 4 now of Power Rangers Dino Fury, and honestly I gotta say this season so far seems to be on fire. It is really good. I think episode 3 would probably be the weakest of the 4, but I still think and consider it to be a good to decent episode, and I really do believe that so far Dino Fury is definitely a recovery after the past 10 years, and this one was no exception. So we finally get introduced to not just Boomtower, but the Green and Black Rangers, Izzy and Javi. Now, this is very cool. I love this episode, and I really love these two new Rangers. Now, first off, I do want to talk about Boomtower, because Boomtower is revealed to be made out of machines. He's a robot sort of thing. I guess that's what you'd call him. He's a robot, which I really liked. I feel like that was a kind of a twist. I was expecting he'd be an alien, so I really like how they kind of made the twist and made it different and made him this robotic being. It was really cool, and I love the voice actor for him. He's definitely a good voice actor. Then we got this other monster of the week, Ragnarok, which I love this villain. And I love what they did here with the comedy for the villain side, in regards to every time they move or go anywhere, they never remember this dude's name. I literally laughed every single time. Like, it was really funny. And at the same time, I also really felt bad for this monster, because literally, what's his name, Boomtower and Mucus are just, using this guy, and he just is kind of upset. It just made me laugh, and feel bad for the guy, because no one cares about him pretty much, and he's just being beat up by the Rangers. It was kind of funny, and I just kind of felt sad for the guy at the same time. It was a really strong episode though, but like I said, we get introduced to the Green and Black Rangers. Now, the way they do this was really good, because you got Zeta, who's trying to get this job. And one thing I really liked is how you have Amelia trying to pump up his resume using all the different skills he has learned and uses as a knight. I thought that was a really cool and somewhat funny moment, and it makes sense. I really like what they did there. And again, I really like the Amelia character. I think she's probably one of the strongest Rangers. And one thing I really am thinking they're trying to do, and maybe it is going to be what they're doing, is making Amelia the second in command of the team, because it really feels like, at least so far, that Amelia is kind of like the second in command out of the three main Rangers. Now we got these other two. I don't know how it's going to play out, but so far, it seems like that could be the case where she's going to be the second in command, which is very interesting, because you never really see a Pink Ranger as being second in command. The only other time really was with Time Force with Jen, but even then she was partially more the leader. So I really do like that idea, and I would like to see that go down that route. But then again, we'll have to see. But like I said, we got the two of them meeting up with Javi. He was trying to go out for the same job as Zato, and you get to meet him. Right away you see he's got this musical talent. He's playing this harmonica. And one thing I really liked here is they gave him a goal and established that he has a goal very early on within meeting him. He's looking for a job so he can save up money for a guitar. So he's got goals and ambitions that he wants. So that's one thing I really like there. Again, it's not much, and I really hope they expand on his character, but I really am interested to see what they do with him. But from there, you also got Zato, who is given an assignment by Jane to go talk to the head, this big time or most popular, a big time athlete for the local school. And meanwhile, you got Javi, who's supposed to go look at the gem rights. I forgot how to pronounce it. I think it's gem rights orb or something like that at the museum, which is also what the monsters are looking to steal, because it'll give Boomtower unbeatable strength. So I really liked how they incorporated those that plot into the main plot. It was a really good thing. Then you got our main three Rangers going to meet up with Izzy. Now, I really like this, because I really love how they use this stuff with Izzy because you right away can see she's very enthusiastic. She's got this drive and passion as an athlete. She wants to be as best an athlete as she can be, and again establishes goals and desires that she wants. And again, I really enjoy what they did here between her and Zato, and how he kind of talks about being a knight. And like, I love the back and forth there of her joking around, calling him Mr. Knight and all that stuff. I really like that. It was really good. And then you got them doing an interview. You don't really see much of the interview, which I'm somewhat okay with because it really was not that important because to the overall story. But as they're doing their interview, you got this whole thing where the monster shows up. One thing I did like also here is you got the two of them kind of gaining respect for each other in regards to Zato, giving her more tips on how to better use the, I don't even know what it's called. Is it a javelin? I don't know what she, let me know if you know the kind of sport that Izzy engages in, because I just don't know it. I've never seen it before. Now, while they're interviewing Izzy, you got Ollie, who is alerted by Solomon that there's a monster attack at the museum. Now, we do get to see at the museum that Javi is doing research on the gemrite orb, and as he's doing that, Boomtower and Mucus arrive, and they end up, capturing the orb. And I like how they used Javi as the one who calls the Ranger hotline. That was a good idea. And you got them who end up going outside the museum and are confronted by Warden Garcia. Now, this is very interesting because I never would have expected him to show up, nor would I expect him to stand up to a monster, which I give him a lot of respect for. I think that character is very interesting. Now, I know a lot of people have been questioning, like, why would a park warden, go and confront this dude? However, if you look up what Simon Bennett has said, it was confirmed by him that Warden Garcia was originally supposed to be a cop. So it kind of gives an explanation as to why he'd go and confront them. So I really like that. It explains why he was there and why, he's there to why he would confront Boomtower. But Boomtower badly wounds him, and the Rangers show up. You get to see a nice battle between the Rangers and Boomtower. And you got Javi who watches, and then in the middle of the battle, you got the monster who ends up losing the orb, and you got Javi who takes it and goes and to hide it somewhere, taking his father's truck, because it's been confirmed that Warden Garcia is indeed the father to Izzy and Javi Garcia. I don't understand how I missed that. I feel like it kind of stupid because I feel like I should have known that. So I'm not gonna take off points there, but you got him running away, and you got Boomtower who orders Mucus to follow them, which I really love. What they did here is they had Mucus use her powers to jump on and stow away in a Javi's car. So it was a very smart move there. And you got Boomtower who eventually retreats, and the Rangers go off to help Warden Garcia, and as they're helping him, you got Izzy who shows up, and she tells them that she can help them find the gemrite orb, as she knows her brother and a place where he goes to hide to play his music, as Warden Garcia doesn't approve of him and his music career, which I really like. They gave even more depth to the character. The father doesn't approve of him playing music, even though it's his passion. So I really like that idea. It gives conflict and gives more story building on that family. So I really did enjoy that part of the story. And you got Javi who ends up, going to the forest and finding and trying to hide the gemrite stone. And you got Mucus who shows up and notices and goes to alert Boomtower and the rest of the group of her villains. And you got Javi who's trying to, sweep through the forest and hide it, but he is interrupted by Boomtower and Dragaron, who I really love this monster. And you got the confrontation between the two of them. However, it is interrupted as Izzy uses her. I think it's about pole vaulting. I'm not sure what her sport is, but she uses that sport to, take the orb away from the monster once he is able to retrieve it. And you got the Rangers who engage, Boomtower and Ragnarok in a battle. Meanwhile, you got Javi and Izzy who are able to capture the orb again and plan to go hide it. And however, before the monster can even get it, you got Javi who ends up destroying the gem right orb, and in the inside of it, it's revealed that the black and green Dino gems or Dino keys are stuck inside there. So I really, really did enjoy that. And then you got them who are pretty much instamorphed into the Green and Black Ranger. And this is another area that I really, really did enjoy, as you got both Javi and Izzy who are very excited about being Rangers. We got Izzy who idolizes the Rangers. So I really did like that. Had I had them very much be excited for being Rangers, it makes sense. And it was a very good way to introduce these two new Rangers. And you got two of them who end up joining the fight against Boomtower and Ragnarok. Now, this is one thing I really liked. It was a great choreographed battle. Now, I know from what I understand is that the choreographer is from the Disney era has returned. So I wonder if that has anything to do with this episode. But I did really like it. And you got Javi who is dual wielding swords. He's got his own sword, and then the one from Izzy, as she uses one of the monster's weapons and uses her own, athletic abilities to fight off the monster. Now, this is something I really liked, because you got each of these rangers who have their significant power or abilities that they can use to fight off the rangers. You got Zeta, who's a knight, and it was revealed in the premiere that both Amelia and Ali have karate, and one of Ali having fencing backgrounds. So I really like how they added that in. And then you got Izzy, who has more of this athletic background as well. Now, from what I understand, though, Javi does not have any, training or anything like that in regards to fighting. So I figure it'd be cool if they do something similar to with MMPR. Billy was not the most athletic character or ranger of the team, so maybe they do something similar to that, where the rangers have to help him train and do better so he can fight better. I don't think they will do that, but I think it would definitely be a cool thing to do, and something interesting to do for this season that we haven't really seen before. But again, I doubt that'll happen. Eventually, they end up, battling Boom Tower and Ragnarok. Boom Tower eventually retreats, and after a while, you got Ragnarok who ends up growing, and then you got the Megazord fight. Now, this is something I'm confused about, and don't. It was something that I didn't understand really, because in the Megazord fight so far, you only got you had the original three Rangers, but here you got black and green in the cockpit as well, which I don't totally understand, because I'd think that they'd only be in there if like one of their Zords connected to the main Zord or the main Megazord. So that was confusing. Now I know the Stegozord for the Black Ranger isn't going to be introduced to, I think, episode 7. I don't know about the Tiger Claw Zord for the Green Ranger, but I just found this very confusing. I know it probably sent into a Sentai footage, but again, it just was very confusing. After the Megazord fight, you got Ragnarok, who returns to the original form in regards to Sporex, and the Rangers are able to capture the Sporex egg before Void Knight is able to, and then they end up returning to their base. Now at that point, you got Izzy and Javi, who find out the real identity of the Rangers and join the team. They're introduced to Solon, and then you got pretty much it ends there. You got Izzy, who wants to know about her Zord, and I really again like the little banter there between the Rangers as they tell us what's the big deal with Zords. It was again another funny little thing there. Again, I really loved what they did here, and they went back to the main kind of B plot of the episode regarding the job interview. Javi is given the job. It would have been cool to see Zato take the job, given him being a man at a time, but I'm okay with Javi taking the job. It's just, it's a middle thing. I don't care. It's going to be like a C plot thing, but again, it would have been very interesting to see what they could have done with Zato in that role, but I'm overall okay with it. And then there was a bit of comedy here and there in regards to Jane and the Jay Borg stuff. Now, I'm kind of mixed on this one, because some of it was funny, like with trying to read the teleprompter, that was kind of funny. Others weren't as funny. Now, this is where I kind of draw the line in the middle here, because part of me feels like, okay, yeah, this was kind of slapstick humor that I don't care for, but at the same time, they gave me comedy that I did care for in regards to, dialogue and quitty whips and stuff like that, where I really like that, comedy. And I feel like adding in the slapstick is a way that they cover all their bases. One thing I always say is comedy is versatile. Some people are like the slapstick comedy, others like myself don't. So in a way, I feel like they are easily balancing it out, and this episode is a very good, clear example as how they're balancing out the comedy here in regards to how they are able to keep the witty banter between the Rangers and villains, because we even know Simon Bennett said that it'd be mixed around between both the villains and the heroes, and we got that here in this episode very clearly with Ragnarok and his villain. We got the comedy there, we got the comedy stuff between the Rangers, and then you got the J-Bark stuff. And again, I feel like they're covering all their bases in regards to comedy. They're giving everybody, they're kind of covering what everybody would like. They're covering the slapstick, but they're also giving the witty banter, like myself. So I really did enjoy this episode. Now, if I had to give this episode a grade overall, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5, which is really high, and I rarely give any episode of PR 5 out of 5, but I think it was a very strong episode, very solid episode. Comedy was very good all around, covering all their bases. Like I said, the introduction to Black and Green, Izzy and Javi were really good. The story that was told within introducing them was very well done. So I really think this is a very strong episode. So giving it a 5 out of 5. But I want to know your thoughts, opinions about the episode in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, that's my review of Power Rangers Dino Fury, Episode 4, New Recruits. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That'll miss some more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. And go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is linked in the about section on my YouTube channel. As always, been Vision Hero Boy Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.